forming organizations or coaching people, let them know basically fit inside the team framework, and so on and so forth. I was able to help them. And from there, they're able to team. My mentality, I'm a winner. I talk about winning all the time. And, oftentimes I was allowing the kids to cut out all the noise, man. Focus on the winning, focus on basketball, and basically developing like a winner's mindset. And I think that's why I kind of get around it eventually. I'm around winners all the time. I'm thinking about winning, talking about winning, and I think that's what I contribute to their program.
Exciting things, what happens this weekend. And I'm not saying you're jinx, but sometimes people come up here and work certain things, but then things happen. So, that's what I'm saying. I'm not putting anything out there.
I should even win that game, if you totally honest with me.
Oh,
Dead ass. It was like 17 texts after that shot. Players running on the floor, Dan Hurley head to head with. What was that about, man? Why was Dan Hurley headbutting the referee? What was that for? What happened prior to that? I'm just asking because I don't know the backstory for why he headbutted the referee for fighting stuff. Was it him in the what happened? Because that was a technical.
So, he has a history of his, I don't want to say antics, he's guessing over disrespectful in that ref. When things aren't going his way or there's a call that needs to be made and he needs to speak his mind about it. And I don't know if he's had history, I don't know if but even if he was asked about it now, it was like a chuckle and a laugh, like, yo, that's our relationship. So I get it, they can say that. We shouldn't win the game because that could have been a take. But to me, that was like a personal relationship. I'm like, yo, this thing was going down to the wire, you could have affected it. And he's just an intense dude, and that's what I love about Coach Shirley, but I don't always all the time.
When's the last time you've been in did you go any regular season game this season?
No, I wasn't really
This is exactly what I'm thinking about. I heard you before the show talking to Bees all about the beginning of the show. No, man, I didn't. And they didn't go anywhere. The year before that, when they thought he was there, you don't know this group of players, Mo.
Niggas getting your show back up.
You're gonna go to one game this whole season. You ain't gonna talk to no kids. If we talk about but you know what happened? You called shit. You didn't want to go all the way in. So now you're back.
Hello?
So now you know you're right. You walk in there, you like, well, that nigga like, yo, who he? I ain't gonna know you. Group of niggas you went with stuff. I ain't gonna act like you wasn't a step on castle with them niggas. All right, I give you that. This new group of niggas don't know you, man. They don't know you, my niggas. They don't know you, nigga.
They thought he was stripping.
The whole start five, man, Alex Caravan, the whole coach staff. I text Luke Murray after the game. Thank you for the shout out. Matter of fact, the last time I was in New York, I seen the movies last year to Florida when they got not when they got kicked out of the playoffs, but before they got to the Sweet 16. I think it was the Sweet 16 before the Elite Eight. So I was with them all last year. It was up there in the summer and fall. You have to remember, I ended up basically going through probably in the middle of January with Ohio State football, and then after that, I basically got into some business endeavors, and that kind of kept me up over the last month and a half. But I haven't made it to any games this year. But I did tell my man Paul and Mama, I said, look, I'm traveling right now. Obviously, I'm not home right now. So I'm traveling right now. I say, hey, y'all go ahead and make the Final Four. I'm there, my man. My plane lands. I'll get over to Indianapolis and North
I bet you will. I bet you will be at the Final Four.
Hey, look, I was working out earlier. I sent the text. I said, man, what a wonderful show. I was going to congratulate you, Cam. I was like, man, I said, just watch you up there with doing PBC boxing. Made me feel like that. I see Stat doing her thing with her video log. I was coming to congratulate everybody. See, they throw me up under the bus.
Listen, let me tell you something. See, you like, I see you, my brother. That's what I was telling my brothers.
Yeah, we gotta hold you honest.
Yeah, man. If I can fuck with you, I want to say, no, I'm like, hey, man, that's great. My nigga, man, the treatment, you gonna be in the final four time. I bet let's go, Stat. I'm sick of this.
Mo, when they lose, do you cry?
Listen to me.
You don't cry with them niggas, Mo.
Hey, I'm gonna give you a real story. This is a real story, right? So I've been known to do Alex Caravan for 4 years. He's a kid who he plays when he's a shooting guard, shoots very well, Russian kid. So you know, when you watch a kid grow up and you watch him win back-to-back championships, you watch him struggle, then you watch him have success. And I was really watching my dude, and he got emotional. I said, man, I just seen this dude grow up and become who he became at UConn. And that let me know how I really felt about their program. And you can see players grow up. There's a few other dudes I've known for 2 or 3 years, but emotionally, I got the same emotional roller coaster with UConn basketball that I got with Ohio State. So I ain't never played, but I love what dude just to say.
Stat, go ahead and start.
There's that. We'll be able to bring that next week. Okay, on to NFL. So a lot of NFL owners are actually pushing for an 18-game regular season. So Patriots team owner Robert Kraft said he would like another bye week added to the schedule while the preseason gets trimmed from 3 games to 2. He also believes every team an international game. Colts owner Carly Gordon is in favor, especially if the players want it. She pointed out that the current 17-game slate means some teams get 8 home games instead of 9 during the season, but she also wants the preseason to be reduced. So hearing this from the owners, Mark, Jake, what would you like to see happen?
My take wasn't that. I did one thing. I looked at how much money is generated in preseason games versus regular season games. And it is an astonishing difference. The average owner for regular season games profits between $8.5 to $10 million, right? And I just said to myself, as these owners, and I think it's owners getting to a point where they're tired of players and paying them what they pay them and all of the stuff that comes with them. And I just think to themselves that they said, hey, you know, if we put another game on a record or if we put another regular season game on the schedule, that we can generate, I think I see some $1 billion in additional revenue for the league. And as these guys start to ask for more money, these owners are saying, hey, man, we're going to demand more out of you because we're also paying you guys more. And so I think it just comes down to dollars and cents. It's the old school guard of, you know, we own the system, we own this league, and we're going to play hardball. We don't care about players. We will advertise player safety, but we need you all to go out here and perform so we can sell your talent against ads.
Yeah, I think this only makes sense they extended to Europe. If they was to expand, like just having one expansion team in Europe just to see how it goes. I remember when the NBA did this with the Toronto Raptors and the Vancouver Grizzlies at the time. It generated a lot of money, and I think that could be something that really benefits the NFL. Even expanding brand because it seemed like they're starting to play very well over there, and the fans are really showing up for it. That's the real surprise fact. So I think if they were to add a team overseas, they could generate the money that you're talking about, Mo, and they wouldn't have to add no extra things. They just have it out of the country.
It's the money, man. I agree with you, Mo. At the end of the day, these owners want more bread. And
Yeah.
and that's just that. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I love football. Adding an extra bye week, I can, you know, to be honest with you, I'm really not mad at it. Will players mad at it? That's for the players to decide. I'm not sure how players will feel about it. Because when the players are making more, that's the real question. Are they getting the same salary? Are they going to be making more money? Are they going to make more more money because it's an extra game. So, I don't know the players' contract. This is great to ask Michael Irvin how they would probably get paid. He would have more insight on this. But shit, if it's more money for the players, I see the players for it as well. Um, it is like basketball to me. You don't see a bunch of football players complaining. You got to shorten the season. You got to shorten the season. Like the NBA, they just keep complaining. You need to shorten the season, 72 games to 65 games. Players are getting hurt. This, that, and the third. Now I know 17 games is an 82 games. It's a big difference. At the end of the day, I'm not against it. I would love to see more meaningful football because it's going to be the same amount of time. They're just cutting preseason games short and making it the regular season smart. A lot of the players say cut the games. This should be less amount of games. So we'll see what the Players Association says.
And then I know you were talking about international, but just like every team having to have an international game, do you guys like that part of it or no? Maurice?
Oh, I like it just because it expands the brand. Like this question makes me think of two things. I think we're in a place now when you go with collegiate athletes, national athletes that I see on the show yesterday we were talking about people wanting more or athletes wanting more, and eventually we end up getting more. But this is the result of it. As you get more required, more demanded of you, so we have to push the brand so owners can make more. Because obviously they're not going to cut in their margins, pay players more, and make their pockets decrease. They're saying, how do we expand the brand? So I like it. It makes the next generation of football players and basketball players from a financial standpoint. So I like it personally.
The NFL been trying to put a team overseas. The problem is with that is that the travel schedule is 6 hours from New York just to get to London. If you're in California, it's like 9, 10, 11 hours just to get it. If you're in Seattle, it's probably 13 hours. So the travel schedule and the hours that it takes to get to Europe and back is part of the reason why they haven't done it. And I'm not saying that they won't, but they're still it up. They've been talking about putting a team in London or Europe, period, for the last 10 years. But people are complaining, saying, oh man, the time, look how long it takes to get there, et cetera, et cetera. When we talk about teams in Toronto or Vancouver, that's still North America. And football is big. They got football leagues in Canada already. And I think Mason's correct when he says the fans are showing up in London all the time. You can see it when they go over there and play. It's a big deal. But because of how long it takes to get there, back and forth, that's what they've been complaining about close to a decade on why they haven't put a team there yet. Will they eventually figure it out? Hopefully. I think they love football in Europe. So we'll see what happens. But I do think it would be fair for every team to play a game over. Some teams have to travel that long, travel that far, and then come back on a short week and possibly play on a Thursday night.
Another game.
Yeah, so that's the problem. That's why I think that every team should play an overseas game if you're gonna have certain teams going over.
Okay, so Colts owner and CEO Carly Ursay-Gordon and her sisters discussed the prospect of opening their franchise to private equity investment, which the NFL now permits after an affirmative vote by owners in 2024. Ultimately, the Ursay sisters intend to retain full ownership of the Colts, even in light of the death of their father, Jim Irsay, the other year. So she said, we certainly looked at private equity. We just don't have any intention of doing it now. That doesn't mean to say that they won't do it later. So Maurice, if this happens, what do you believe you would see from their franchise that you're not seeing from others?
I just don't think it's going to. The reason I say that is because I think these women have been a part of the franchise for so many years and sort of seeing their father run it, and it's three of them, and with three people trying to make singular decisions about how franchises are run, that has its own dynamic, and I'll leave that. But the other part is that I don't believe it's going to happen, but I ultimately think, and I think somebody spoke about this last year, I don't know if it was Cam or Mace, where they talked about teams that were owned by, and they were talking about Genie Bus as well, and they were talking about the Brown family who owns the Bengals. I just don't think that it's going to fail in the long run. I think when you have limited resources, and not to say that the Colts are broke, or the Urson family is broke, but in comparison to other people, I think that when you make decisions with limited resources compared to somebody who has a bunch of resources, I think the way that you just build the machine, meaning the team, is just totally different. And I think that this is a venture that is new to them. Not to say that they're bad in any regard because they're women. I think just running a team is new to them. So I think they'll struggle in the short run, and then also not having that other people may have with taking on private equity and building teams and running the machine differently. I just think that those things, from a structural standpoint, will end up outweighing what the Ursay sisters bring to the table in the long run.
Yeah, I think it will be interesting just to see how two young be able to run a company when can't, but just the different how you said it nuances nuances, yeah, it just that comes with just females communicating together and thinking about what she wants to do versus what this one wants to do. I think it's going to be real interesting to watch. I would be more interested than them getting a reality show and watching them in the end goals.
And then moving on to the Cowboys. It's been a while since we've even spoke on them, but they've been brought back. So George Pickens is on a non-exclusive franchise tag, guaranteeing him a one-year salary of approximately $27.3 million for the 2026 season. And CeeDee Lamb is on a four-year, $136 million deal. So Maurice, do you think Dallas can truly afford both receivers and still build a winning roster?
Uh, I don't think it's going to happen. Excuse me. And especially after you see Jackson Smith and Jigba get paid, that's on the back of Jefferson with I think that was coached the Minnesota Vikings and Jamar Chase. And I just don't think that they can afford them. And it just makes me think that Jerry Jones is about to have a second part of what he had last year with Michael Parsons of not being able to afford this top tier talent that'll help him take him to the next level. So my short answer is no.
I think they're spending too much money to be able to build the type of team they will need to do. And I think even with giving them that 28 million, that this is going to turn around and potentially to be a problem because every time you pay one wide receiver, all that's going to do is make other people want their number jacked up, and then you're not going to know who's really wide receiver one.
He's franchise tag.
Yeah.
Yeah, non-exclusive
Yeah.
franchise tag.
That's better than the long-term contract. So that's the best for Jerry Jones to save money, right? Let's see what this nigga gonna do this year. If I give this nigga this long-term contract, 28 million on the franchise tag for Pickens, I think is pretty good. Considering that he wants a long-term deal. Happy about it? Absolutely not. Nobody wants to get franchise out of that. You ain't gonna get that because everybody's not a quarterback. You got to think about Kirk Cousins. He's not gonna get hit like that. Pickens might fuck around and get clipped, get injured, and that's the reason he doesn't want to be franchise tag and wants a long-term contract so he can cash in on insurance. God forbid something happens to him. I think this is genius for Jerry Jones. I think that you go into the season saying, "I'm tired of paying niggas. I'm tired of giving these niggas these long-term contracts. We gonna franchise tag you. We got CeeDee Lamb. We gonna pay Dak Prescott. Let's see what the fuck happened this season before we motherfucking figure out what we'll do with you long term." How long do you do franchise tag? 2 years straight or just 1 year now? And franchise tag the nigga again. We got you 2 years, nigga. You back to back franchise tag. Sit down. We gonna see if we gonna win before we give you 170 million. I'll cash you out for 55 million for 2 years, and we'll see exactly what happens. Brilliant for the Cowboys. George Pickens, I feel your pain. I totally understand. But if you're the Jones family, you have to be pissed off. 30-something years without a championship, and everybody gets paid. Tony Romo's getting paid. Motherfucking Dak Prescott get paid. CeeDee Lamb's get paid. Motherfucking, who the niggas before that? Who's the fucking running back they want?
Ezekiel Elliott.
Zeke Elliott, you get paid. You're the wide receiver that's Brian, you get paid. Everybody gets paid, and we don't have a fucking ring to show for it. No trophies on that. Sorry, George, nigga, that you're caught up in the midst of this. Take the 28 million, nigga. That ain't bad. I get it. I know it's niggas out there making 45 million. I know niggas out there making that money that you want. But you caught up in the middle of some shit that really got nothing to do with you. So, sorry for George Pickens, but I understand it from the George film.
Okay, and then they also actually restructured as of this month Dak's contract, CeeDee Lamb's, and then Tyler Smith. So I think it's saving money for sure, but I think they're definitely trying to figure out what are they going to be able to do because they're paying the wide receivers a lot, which they should, but also like how much are you willing to put into those pieces and not the rest? So we'll see what happens with that. Okay, so let's talk about AJ Brown and his contract. Maurice, do you think keep or move on from him this season, considering everything that kind of went on last year, a lot of the public comments that were made, what we saw?
Yeah, I personally think the Eagles have to move on. It was just like it was so much of a distracting force after they had won on a run and had won the championship. And like when you're a distracting force and you keep on feeding into distractions, just with all the antics, the crying for the ball, the windows about dogging your teammates and how the ball should be targeted to you. And don't forget, I forget when they played last. Remember, he was the source or one of the sources for why they lost the playoff game. They lost. I can't recall every play, but I'm pretty sure y'all can recall what I'm talking about. But I just think you have to move on from that. And when you have just that attitude in the locker room, that stuff is like cancerous. When you're trying to go pursue it all, to win it all, you don't need somebody distracting your quarterback and or him having the back of his head, I have to get the ball to this person and cry or and it becomes more to it. So I think they have to move on from starting and rebuild a whole.
Yeah, I'm in full agreement with you, Mo. I think what makes him really a distraction is he thinks that everybody's a problem to him. That's when you're really like, oh, you're rocking when you're the problem and you see everybody else is the problem. So there's really no way to change the situation.
Damn, I didn't know you was my shoot. You in the 40s, you in the old man club.
Yeah, man, listen.
I'm 49, man. I'll be 50 this year. Man.
Sorry, I was checking out something. Yeah, man, listen.
Yeah, but you doing good, you don't got no gray hair, yeah, you doing good, bro. It's a couple up, man. Nigga, you don't got no gray hair, bro. You doing good, bro.
Very, very good.
As soon as I turn 40, I start getting gray hair.
Oh, yeah. Crying about not getting the ball. They throw it your way. You got 3 drop passes.
I'm still glad I got my hair, though. I ain't.
Man, I just cut my hair.
You had it long?
Yeah, I just had lots last month.
Oh, what?
Now what? What do you have to say? I think Jalen Hurts handles this situation very, very well. But what I was going to say is that I'm not comparing him to Terrell Owens.
Yeah, man. And I was like, man, it's about to be hot again.
His problems are outweigh his talent. We don't want to get rid of a Terrell Owens. This nigga is nice, but he's detrimental to the line. He's detrimental to us not being
sick games. Dry, I'm not doing all that, man.
They like, fuck it. Then he goes to the Eagles, right? Where the Eagles go? To the Super Bowl. And he plays in the season, right? He'd be like,
my hand on the shoulder.
To the Super Bowl as soon as we get rid of this nigga. Now, he didn't win the Super Bowl, but he played injured. He played actually well in that Super Bowl. So you don't want to get rid of him, and then he goes and prospers somewhere else. Because he is, when he's his game and he's focused, probably the top 5 receiver when he's focused. But all the distractions the last 2 years, it hasn't just been this year, it started in the middle of the season before last, that I agree. But UN makes that he probably needs to be somewhere else.
Wow. Black gonna be cracking, boy.
42 in July.
And then I thought she was like 31, 32 the most.
So
Man, my
did
oldest
Mark Cuban say he
22.
regrets
Get the
selling
fuck
the
outta
team to
here.
discuss his comments
You
after the
got
break.
old kids like me. My son, my oldest son is 30. My son is 30. My daughter 25, and my youngest is 13. You be like, why you gotta start all over at a 13-year-old? Man, my old. Oh wow! What he in?
You know,
That's what's up.
yeah, man, I'm a little sad about it right now because all that.
Oh, what's going on over there? Fucking all that Rambo
Welcome
shit.
back. So Mark
Where
Cuban
he
sold
at?
the
Oh,
majority
he knew,
share of
okay.
the franchise to the Adelson and Dumont families back in December 2023. And speaking on it, he said,
Fucking asshole, man. I keep getting this shit to these young niggas to die for no reason. For their dumb shit, bro.
The Knicks lost to Houston last night, right?
You gotta stop being scared. Overthrow the fucking government. And I can stop the bullshit,
You
man.
don't want to come in the room. You don't want to sit in the chair. You don't got nothing to talk about. I just remember when niggas here. And when the Knicks did it, niggas disappeared. My bad. I didn't even bring up a whole wall snap, but I just.
No reason,
My
bro.
bad.
no, that he actually should come speak
No
on it.
reason. Oh, they trying to make. That's all they gotta say nowadays. Oh, they trying to make weapons of mass destruction. Let's invade their country. Like what?
I'm gonna call Mo. How does he call you, Mo? Like,
The only crazy thing is, I was thinking about it like, man, look, nobody will never really be able to invade the U.S.
No. Let me
You
tell
know
you.
what I
Let me
mean?
tell you
We
why.
got too many guns.
No, I'll be saying that. I said that
We
too. I
got too
said.
many guns.
I said the only way they be able to do something, they gotta be done from inside here.
Yeah.
They can't. There's no plane or boat gonna come here.
Yeah, none of that.
Niggas got too much guns out here. What the nigga?
Too many.
Niggas got too much guns in the U.S. There's no way something will come and invade it.
He'll try to come down one block and then squad on me.
First of all, we got a military that's crazy. And all the citizens got guns. How the fuck? That's why they did shit like 9/11 back in the day. Like, we gotta do it. They gotta do it from inside. They can't. We can't see them coming, or it's over for them.
Nobody is safe, and when your team loses, we all have to speak. It happens. And Maurice, hopefully don't
That's
have
good
to
to
use it
something.
next week.
I wish
Same
my
for
kids
you,
would do
Pop. So we'll
something
see
for
what
the
happens.
fucking
Man,
Man, look, we tried college for 1 year.
You know what's really going on is that I just realized that we did this to stack on my
Yeah,
head.
he just
So she
worked
tried to do it
it.
I said,
Tired of it all.
The military, if you do the right thing, you can do it, yo. They
That's
said,
our homeboy, man. He live in Italy. Like, you know what I mean? He went in the army when he was younger, man. He live in Italy, got nice family.
oh,
You know what I mean? Got a good
yo, I know people, bro. One of my mans did that. And nigga, next thing you know, he's working at Goldman Sachs in fucking New York, making bread, 6 figures. And they said most people that run the Fortune 500 companies got military background.
Oh yeah,
They said most people that run those Fortune 500 companies on Wall Street, they got military background because they're disciplined. They're gonna be there early in the morning, be disciplined. So go ahead, brother. Go ahead, check it out. Look, people, check it out. That's how we do. That's how we do.
Of his claims, then have you ever had a
The
similar
CUTT Lounge.
experience or
You want alcohol and everything?
yeah.
I sold it to
Man,
thoughts.
Yeah, I actually thought it was funny because of the people he sold it to.
Some was
I
like,
don't
oh,
think
it's
these people
mine,
care
it's
nothing.
mine.
You gotta be a kids, man. Let me tell you something, kids.
I know these people were more interested in building.
Hold on one second. Put your head down one more time.
Getting the team and running the team. And I believe Mark Cuban is a diehard sports fan. I think that when he made his money in tech or however he made it and bought the team, I think that's a large part of his identity to the world. Excuse me. And I think he cared a lot about the employees and the franchise in general. even so much that when he sold it, he had basically divvied up some of the profits and gave it to employees that helped him build the team and the company. And I think he's an honorable dude, but funny from a perspective that there's so many people out there with money that sometimes we only know popular people, but I don't think these people gave two shits about basketball, and it's shown how they're running it. And it's said that they gave Luca away as a way to dog the town. I think that he's more mad at that. And so I don't know all about the negotiation talk, but that's what I'll say about Mark Cuban and some of the team.
Yeah, if Mark Cuban had high hopes for the new leadership, thinking that they would probably take this into betting and taking this into Vegas. When we first started talking about the new owners, they had high hopes to transition this into one of the times that they can head into, which was right here and go through.
Yes,
It's like sometimes you didn't really get to see that plan. And now he's looking at it with no Luca here.
No, I didn't just call you, sir. You just called me.
Regretting the choice because you want to see somebody.
No, it wasn't me, sir. I just picked up the call. See, this is a business. This is the Cut Lounge.
Oh yeah, I sold this to so and so. But the way they're running it,
this is the Cut Lounge. This is a business.
To have that bragging right. So that's part of what's eating at them.
This is a business called the Cut Lounge. But I didn't call you from this number. It's called the Cut Lounge.
3.5 billion. Do your thing.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, because sometimes people will steal people's numbers and use it as caller IDs to make calls. That's what they have. It wasn't me.
Yeah, he still has 20%, 27% ownership in the team. Partisan bullshit, but he's not the governor anymore. They call him the governor instead of owner, and he's not the majority owner. So he was, like I agree with you, Mo. He loves sports and he loves the Mavericks.
Yeah.
And even making a play, trying to get some investors to buy it back from the people that he sold it to. He bought my shit back. I don't know if they're willing to sell it back, but he's definitely in the play for trying to buy it back. But yeah, when the money's in front of you, these are conversations that you need to have, right? And we talk about this with negotiations. And I remember, I don't get into too many details, but Mace is really good when it comes to negotiating because he asks a lot of questions. He was trying to negotiate for sin against me. For Sin's deal on talking food. And Sin didn't even know what he was the questions to ask. He didn't ask the right questions. But you have to ask these questions because now you'll be more Cuban. And we're not talking on the same level with Sin and Mark Cuban. We're talking about billions of dollars. But if you don't ask the right questions and be specific, these are the things that you will regret later on down the line, not asking the right questions. And I'm not saying you might not ask the right questions. It's one of those such a question. Damn, what movie is that? Matter of fact, it's Omar, pardon me, not Omar. I don't know how many people watched The Wire. And it was on The Wire, it was 20 years old. But it was a part where Marlowe took over one of Avon's old blocks. And one of Avon's owners was like, so what you gonna do with this? And he said, none of your business. Mark, it's none of your business. Do you want the money or you don't? Mark could have asked a bunch of questions. He's like, Mark, this don't concern you no more. Do you want the money and the 27% and don't ask me any questions? We don't know. I'm just assuming. Because Mark Cuban doesn't appear to come across to me as stupid whatsoever. Not even a little bit. One of the smartest people, and not only smartest people, hands-on owners that we ever seen. Outside the Steinbrenners and Jerry Buss and modern day. So it might have just been, listen, I want the money, I'll take the 27%. So you're gonna do this, yeah, Mark, we gonna do all that. Yeah. Sign this for me. And that may be the problem. This is all assumption, I have no idea. But I do know that he was trying to put some people together to try and get the team back Or at least that's what reports were saying.
Okay, on to Team USA. So they announced its training camp rosters for April, and neither Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese was included on that roster, but Angel Wilson, Ephesian Collier, and Sabrina Ionescu were some of the stars featured. So I know a lot of people hear the what and they're like, that doesn't make sense. So a WNBA insider spoke on the absence and said, not on this roster or camp, which is normal. Players will rotate through camp so staff can evaluate. But just hearing that, Maurice, what's your opinion on this? And then do you think that people in charge of marketing women's sports are kind of dropping the ball when it comes to situations like this?
Yeah, I thought it was crazy, and I thought they dropped the ball significantly. And I've only cared about sports in the last, probably women's sports in the last 4 or 5 years. Hearing about five names: Angel Wilson, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Flau'jae. I don't know Flau'jae's last name, the girl from LSU, and probably one other, and what's the girl from USC? Is it Juju? Yeah, and so those names are synonymous with modern day women's sports, just like you had people who were synonymous 10 or 15 years ago. And those people create so much traction and get so much attention. And I think sometimes with women's sports, where they may be lacking where men's sports isn't, they just don't market, like they just don't run with who's hot, because they try to say, everybody needs to earn their deal. But I don't think their brand is mature enough to sort of treat the same way that men's sports treats their brand, and they can have different conversations. So I think it was a big miss. I think, like, if I had those racehorses deal with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese,
yes, people, live,
I would be getting people interested, and I would keep them in the forefront. Just like when I fell in love with basketball, it was Magic, it was Bird, it was the Dream Team, and just the stars were basically treated as stars. And so I think they missed with that one.
Yeah, I definitely think that they are dropping the ball without having either Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark on this team, and I'll tell you why. The team just is going to get more publicity, even though it's a USA thing, right? If Caitlin Clark is on that team, it's gonna be no differently. I look at and her and Angel Reese playing together, that would be a candid moment. Even if you had to use them as reserves, or like what's after reserve mode? What do they have, like the injured reserves? Like, even if they're just on the trip, you gotta take them on a trip. I think it's just a part of marketing this WNBA to a bigger audience, right? The people that you're bringing, everybody's gonna be asking about Caitlin, and then once they start asking about Caitlin, Angel Reese put her name with Caitlin, so now everywhere they go, you want to see them two together. So I think having them out there will do phenomenal things marketing wise for the WNBA, and if they're serious about paying more and bringing a bigger audience, this was the time to do that.
Sorry. When it comes to this, man, I think this is going to be on Team USA. It is 2026 in March. The Olympics is 2028 in the summer. I think that if you announce it there on the Olympic team right now, it's going to be more of a distraction going into the WNBA season.
Yes, good morning.
And people are going to ask about that. There's no way, at least Caitlin Clark doesn't make this team. It just doesn't happen. And
I'm fine. How are you?
Then I just stand corrected. But we're worrying about what they're announcing the Olympic team in 2026 in March.
You guys are open, of course, right now, right? So what is the terms? You have to look in-house signing. How much would I have to put down? I just need to know. You gotta do zero. You gotta do zero down financing, or you have to put something down.
I'm not gonna say half. But it's going to be players on this roster now that's not going to be on the roster when it's time for the Olympics. We're talking about 2 years and 3 seasons of WNBA basketball. I'm not going to trip.
Okay. All right.
Only 2 years.
All right. So
this is no big deal.
So you open at 10. Okay. All right, then I'm right down the
Let's say
block.
for
'Cause I work
we
right
got
down the
some
block. I
back
have a
and
business
forth
right down the
between
block from you
Pat
guys.
and Dwayne Wade.
So I
Pat
could
Bev
be over
playing.
there shortly.
When you
In
talk
about
about a
like
better player,
30
James
minutes.
Harden is a better player than Dwayne Wade, right? So Dwayne Wade caught with that comment and said, I don't understand how
Okay,
you can have a
9:45
conversation
right now
about
then.
state facts when you were never as good as me. Where's your facts to say that someone is better? Don't ever fix your mouth to say someone is better than me when you wasn't
Oh,
better than me
okay.
at anything.
I get it.
in
All right.
basketball.
Well, it's 10 o'clock here now, but
So
I will get over there now.
yeah. Sibling the explanations.
All right,
But he had
thank you.
also said Wade's probably the only top 10 shooting guard who didn't shoot 30% from three for his career. He shot 29%. Russell Westbrook, we make jokes about him. He shot 31%. Andre Drummond shot 31%. So just hearing this back and forth between Dwayne Wade and Pat Bev and what Pat Bev is having to say in his strong claims, do you agree or disagree, Maurice?
I don't know if you would agree or disagree. I don't really have an opinion on that. I will say this: I don't like.
Yes, we are open every day at the CUTT Lounge, 9 o'clock, Tuesday to Saturday. Guaranteed we open at 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day. Come through. Also, tonight is Whiskey Wednesday across the street from the CUTT Lounge at Legacy Cigar Lounge. Come through. You can bring your own whiskey. Every Wednesday starting at 7 o'clock. We have catered food over here, cigars. Come through Whiskey Wednesday, y'all. I'm telling you, it's a great move every Wednesday at 7 p.m. 6333 Bel Air Road. Come through, guys. Want to see you guys.
Do you feel different when somebody from your hometown, you know, they both from Chicago?
Yeah, they are.
I said, do you feel different when somebody from your hometown disrespects you or say something personal versus because D-Wayne don't talk to anybody about anything, and I felt like is there something there that's that may be in the mix? And so I don't know. And that's Pat Bev's personality. That's Pat Bev's how he play ball. That's that approach that Pat Bev has.
Be right back, guys. Go right across the street to the lounge and be right back.
That's why we're talking about him right now. But I didn't like the approach. Is he a Hall of Famer? Is he better than James Harden? I don't know. That's like who's the greatest of all time conversation. It's all subjective, but I didn't like how he tried to disqualify Pat Bev as if he continued to the NBA and playing for as long as he did isn't an accomplishment at all. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I think when it comes to when you really think about what D Wade is saying, he's not right in saying just because you're not better than me, you don't have an opinion. But I don't think James Harden is better than D Wade. I think, you know, as a one-on-one player, but if we're talking about as a baller, no, D Wade got it done until I know, and people gonna say, yeah, what makes James Harden is this. Listen, I seen D Wade show up against Kobe. I seen D Wade show up against Stackhouse and them. I seen D Wade just show up too many times. I know you see people do things off the court that make you kind of play with their legacy a little bit, but nah, I got D Wade better than James Harden, and that would just be my take. You can say what you want. Man got 4 rings, and you can say, well, he played with LeBron. Harden played with KD. He didn't get one. It's just the writing is there. It's all over the wall. I don't know if people just playing one-on-one is different than playing basketball to win. So I would go with D Wade all day.
Yeah, me and Sim was having this debate. Sim and Diesel actually know with D Wade. I said but I'll go with Harden. D Wade went with a 2005 shot right off the championship in 2003 for Kobe. Then you summoned Chris Bosh and LeBron James to come down to Miami to play with you. You went with them. You don't win without him. He has 3 championships, not 4.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
No, but I'm just saying, but I don't think it's a wrong answer. I'm not mad at Sim. Like I said, sometimes I just argue with Sim, but I think it's a great debate. But I'm still going to go with James Harden because James Harden played with some outstanding people too. You got to think about James Harden, Joel Embiid, Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, absolutely. But Kyrie for 6 games. But at the end of the day, I just like James Harden's bag. James Harden his bag is crazy. I think he has more in the Birkin than D Wade. Just use my opinion. It's a great comparison, Mo. I think I told Mo before. I don't know if he was on the show, Mo. I was saying how you was telling me how you think, and I still would go with Caitlin Clark. But you may realize that Paige Becker's bag is better than Caitlin Clark's bag.
Yeah.
But I'm going with Caitlin Clark because she just wants to get it done. You know what I'm saying? Like, she'll pull from 45 feet. But we're talking about moves and mid-range and elevation. Her bag is deep, Paige Becker's bag, man. But I don't know if you was on the show, but I wanted to give you your props because one day I was talking about that. But I don't think it's a wrong answer on either one. But I understand people going with D Wade. I'm just going to go with James Harden and be facetious about it. Let's go, James. Let's go get you a ring out there, nigga. Your last chance, nigga.
I agree there are no bad answers, but there's somebody in here who might think you actually have a bad answer, and he's been shaking his head on the side. So we might have a couple comments regarding this and the Knicks. Hello.
Yeah.
What's been mad about today? That's the segment.
Y'all ever think? Can we go back to that Dwayne Wade and James Harden thing? Murder, you know better. Dwayne Wade?
I said D Wade is better than James Harden.
Oh, you didn't know? It was one take you said you.
What's up, people?
Dwayne Wade? You said
No.
That's Paige.
You just said.
That was Paige.
You just Paige? All right, so I ain't mad at you.
Yeah.
My bad, bro.
Come up here trying to start with everybody.
D Wade started that move pause behind the leg.
Everything.
He got moves.
You think that D Wade has more moves than James Harden better handle and passing?
Yes, he's an all-around better
Not
player.
passing.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, well, you gonna razzle dazzle?
Bro, he led the league in assists.
Okay, so hold
An
on.
assist leader for the league.
And he got the 6 man. How can you compare somebody that came off the bench to a star since he's been a rookie?
He came off the bench. Who's on the team when he gets there?
Oh my lord, Cephalosha? You could have started with Cephalosha?
Kevin Durant, it's Russell Westbrook, and they want James Harden on the bench.
For who? To Cephalosha, right?
Russell Westbrook.
Where's Cephalosha at?
Point being is this, you know what else? But you know what happened? He said, I know these niggas, I'll be busting their ass in practice. Let me go do my thing. That's why we get up out of here. Because the coach don't see it, but I see it.
Dwayne Wade never had those problems.
I hear you, but he went straight to Miami. Pat Riley went to see him on camera.
What you doing now is you go on Instagram and you go on the hotness for now.
James Harden been in the league 17 years.
I understand that, but he's hip hop.
Talking about
He's hip hop, little baby, video on his parties. I get it. I get it. Yeah, I get it. And Dwayne Wade just goes on him.
You know, like this, if you go look at the niggas with the party, then you like the niggas with the fingernail polish. That's just if you're going off the court.
Maybe that might be the reason you said Harden is better.
On the court, then you like a nigga who do a lot of different shit that I don't necessarily agree with. Personal. A lot of shit that I don't agree with.
He's got a little argument. Gut punch. What was talking about?
Listen, these are amazing. Everybody agreed that Dwayne Wade was better. What's the problem?
What's wrong with you?
You ever see Sesame Street? The kid in the box that's not doing his own thing? That's me. I'm the kid in the box doing his own thing.
Even if it's wrong?
The kid
in the box.
You know what's Four boxes is one kid doing his own thing. That's me. I'm the kid in the box doing his own thing. One of these kids is doing his own thing. That's his
It's okay now.
Yeah, but that's all. I think about it. Doing their own thing from one to the guess which one, nigga.
Okay, Sid, next question. While he's in the box doing his own thing, fix. Gotta bring it up. So, you spoke when they were winning. You also got to speak when they're losing. Lost to the Rockets, 111-94. What's up?
Well,
What's the next? What are y'all today?
well, hold on. When you address the next, you say clinch. Some clinch. You say not a lot of people are clinch right now. I noticed that word means a lot. Nick told me that. Cleansed, all right? We know where we going. We just relax. Yo, Mo, what's up?
Playoff. That's what it is.
That's a special word.
It's sad, man.
We some clenched ass niggas, man.
Yo,
Maze, where is the gavel? Thank you, Mr. Nick's representative. We'll have you back at some point. I'm sorry I had to go.
Yeah,
I know you have more to say.
I mean, we established our spot.
Okay.
And people don't like it.
It's okay.
I'm cool with it.
It's okay.
People don't like it.
That was wild.
You saw, you conquered. We will just continue the discussion, just not today. Half the panel has left. Oh my God. Y'all, that is all the time that we have for today. Maurice, you know it's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
All right. My nigga Mo.
Mo, see you next week. Bring your Yukon poncho.
Yes, regardless. Hey y'all, thank y'all for watching, and as always, it is what it is.
What's up, people? I'm about to log out right now. Hit you back, guys, at 3 o'clock. We're going to log back in at 3 o'clock, y'all. How we stop this?